Has this ever happened to you? You're painting with true metallic colors, and you're putting down a nice thin coat. It's has a good opacity, and you're making sure you're catching all those areas. You're being very neat. Then you throw a wash on top of it, maybe black or dark brown, something like that. You're giving a good even coating. It helps the details pop. It's not too powerful that it's completely overwhelming the original color, and it's going pretty well. You're just adding those final touches with that brighter metallic. But the problem is it's still missing something. This is just a grayscale metallic coat. It really is lacking in life. And the problem is that metal is reflective. Even with a darker, um, more grungy metallic like this, you still need some kind of color. And so I'm assuming this the environment is a blue sky and a green ground. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding a basically just a hint of color. So for the blue, because it's overhead, I'll be adding it adjacent to these brighter sections. And for the green, I'll be adding that in the darker, more shadowed areas because that is where it would actually be catching the light. And all this does is add complexity to your metallic. It just adds that little hint that you might not have noticed. And that's the thing is for a very long time I was using true metallic paint, just using it in a grayscale fashion. But by trying out non-metallic metal, which you don't have to do to implement this, you get a much better final result. The problem is that we're taught, I looked at the GW method of um, the base coat wash dry brush, but it doesn't tell you why it is, and it's incomplete. You need that bit of color. And before I added the paint, it looked all right. The metals were metal, but after I added it, it was a completely different look. You might not even notice that the blue or the green is there, but it's just a subtle way of kind of changing how your brain is interpreting it, and it's making it like it a lot more because it's adding what should be there. And that's all you have to do. Just have very thin paint. You get the water out by just dabbing on a piece of paper, so you just have very uh, very thin medium of that's very light in pigment, and then you just add it to those spots and play with it. Don't be afraid to mess it up because of how weak it is. You can add a bunch of layers until it's strong enough, and that's all you have to do. Just keep working until you're satisfied, and I guarantee you'll be happier with the result than with just the grayscale usual stuff. Well, that's all for now. This was a quick one, but I think it's very important to learn. Um, Even when you're just doing armies and you're just banging out tabletop quality, I think it really gives that extra touch that really makes your army pop and makes you feel like you're much more in control of how it looks, and it just gives you that extra special little realism that we're always looking for in a very quick and simple way.